class, they start learning how to sew.
So besides learning about sewing, I also teach at the same time pinning and also cutting. Right now I'm going to show you about how I teach my students how to pin, because pinning is really important, because if you don't pin the pattern properly on fabric, it's going to bunch, it's going to not lay flat, and when you go to cut it, it's going to be all bunchy and it's not going to be straight. So what I do is I do different lines. I do a small one, a long one, I do angles, a little bit more angles. But how I'm doing this is because I want them to see what happens when you do pin the up in the wrong direction and not straight. So here I've got a short one. So I usually do this on a long piece of muslin, but I'm going to just use this as an exercise for now, a small piece. You press down and you use your finger and you angle it. And then you try to grab the end. You see? Takes practice, but I want you to use the side of your nail and come up right the end of that line. The next one is longer. There's also short pins and long pins. Go right into that line, the beginning of that line, and I want the pin to come out at the end of that. And another reason for this is that sometimes, depending on the fabric you're using, there's faux fur. That's fur. That means your distance when you pin is going to be much wider. And if you have finer fabrics, it's going to be a little bit smaller. So I'm going to take my next pin. See how this pin is shorter and this pin is longer? Now, if you go in this side on the angled, it's not on the grain of the fabric. It's going to bunch. It's causing bumps. It's not going to lay flat. So pinning is a really important thing when you're designing. And then again, you want to get the exact end of that line. I want you to come in on the beginning of that line, and the pin has to come exactly out right. And you see how there we go. See the fabric already bunching up? That's what happens when it's not pinned in a nice, according to the grain of the fabric, in a straight line. It makes a huge difference. See, I'm not at the end. Got to go back in. Use the side of your finger so then when the pin comes out, it hits the side of your nail. So this way you don't get poked. Trust me, you'll get poked a lot in the beginning, but pretty soon you don't feel it anymore. But that's part of there. You will get poked. But that's it. That's part of being in design. But you see how the fabric's all bunchy? And if it was straight, you're not going to see that. The fabric lies straight. The correct way of pinning is straight across, like that one. Just like these two, straight across. Okay, now we're going to go on to the exercise. I made a square. I'm going to continue where I left off. I finished the lines of the square. And it's right here. Now this one, there's plackets, polo collars, trims, ribbons. This is exactly how you use this exercise for more detailed part of a design. And you always start here in the beginning, but not at the corner. Remember the rules. Do not start. I'm going to put it underneath. I'm going to start away from the edge of the fabric. Put the needle down, lift up to check. See, there's my corner. So I'm going to back stitch as close as I can without going off the edge. Stop. Needle in the down position, and now I'm going to go straight. This is a straight line now. We follow the straight line, and the rule again is stop before you get to the corner and turn. So this is a mixture between the circle and the square. I do it by hand until I get to the corner. I lift, I check, I take one more stitch. Now in this exercise, you're going to go and take this section here, and then I'm going to turn, I'm going to go up, I'm going to go down, back and forth, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. So it ends up looking like this. That's what it's going to end up looking like on the other side. So this is what I use this exercise so you get used to going back and forth. See this? This is going to be a little bit about foot, but by hand. You see how this little section, it forces you to use both the pressure foot and doing things by hand. So I line up right there at that corner. I'm going to come down. Just like in the book. So I get close to the corner. I do it by hand until I get right there. I lift. See, here I went right off. I want to show you that what happens when I went right off. You see? That's why you can't do it by pedal. You can never stop on time. That's why you have to stop before you get to the edge and do it slowly by hand until you reach the corner. So in a situation like that, I'm going to show you here how to seam rip. So now I'm making a placket. I can't even go over one stitch because you know what? It's going to cause a problem, whatever you're sewing. And to sew this perfectly, if you follow the easy steps and methods, I have to seam rip. So this is your seam ripper. I'm going to take it out from the bottom. The bottom thread is the easiest. And again, I'm going to pull this out. I just need to go a little bit back. Now, where am I going to start? I'm going to start back here. I'm not going to start here because this is not backstitched. It's loose. It's going to unravel. So I'm going to try to get right back on this line, backstitch here, and then come and continue. But make sure you get all your threads out of the way. There we go. So I'm going to go back, get a look. Okay, I'm here. If you want, my little trick is to put a little pin so I know that I need to start somewhere over here. Do you see? I'm above where I left off because otherwise it's going to unravel. You're going to have a hole. So my trick is to take a pin, put it in the back so I know I need to start above, somewhere above that. I'll line it up above my pin, pull my pin out. I'm going to backstitch. And now I'm going to start again. Try to take this corner and stop before I get to the corner. And I keep checking. I think definitely one more stitch I can do and then I should turn. And there. And then I'm going to, now remember I came from here to the right, up. I have to go down here, this tiny little space, and then come back down here. It's a left, right, left, right, left, right. There, and it makes you think. And I did it by a little bit by pedal, but then I stopped. There we go. And just follow it all the way, and you keep going. It's like a zigzag. That's what it is. Stop before I get to the corner. Do it by hand so I can get right into that corner. There. I lift. See, I'm perfect. And I'm going to line it up. I'm going to do it by hand until I can get to the corner. I'm going to lift. So this also forces everyone to concentrate when they're doing this. This one you really need to concentrate which direction you just came. And then I'm going to use the pedal to follow this line. And stop before I get to the corner. And that's it. I'm going to keep doing this back and forth here, then turn here all the way around, and it's going to end up looking just like that.